there would be tea. Oh, it's a disaster. Okay, well, we'll just have to rough it. I'm going to be just like everybody else with no hot tea.
Good evening, everybody, on a very, very, very rainy day from Southern California, the island of Inglewood, California, to be exact. This is Jeandra, and you are listening to Jae Walking in Hollywood, brought to you by The She Report. It's always a pleasure to do these shows on The She Report. If you are currently following The She Report network on Blog Talk, I suggest you should. We have a real wealth of talented women here who are producing terrific shows from the world of sports and entertainment and news and politics that you definitely should tune in every time we are on the air. But again, this is Jae Walking in Hollywood. I'm your host, Jeandra, and I'm looking forward to filling you in each and every week on what's happening in Hollywood, whether it be film, whether it be movies, whether it's social media buzz, or just the plain old scoops. It is awards show season right now, kicking off with the Golden Globes this past Sunday. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Today we're going to talk about, good grief, there's a lot of things we could talk about. I'm going to talk about Oprah's rousing speech that she gave when she accepted the Cecil B. DeMille Award at the Golden Globes. We're going to talk about what was up with Barbra Streisand's face. I love Babs. But what was up with her when Halle Berry was on stage and when Oprah was on stage accepting her award? She just looked like the most sour person at that exact moment. Maybe the camera just caught her wrong and she just had her resting you-know-what face on and just caught her at a bad moment. I don't know, but Barbara was looking crazy. And we're also going to talk about, man, we have so much to talk about. Oh, we're going to talk about this H&M shirt debacle. This is crazy. I can't believe in 2018 that anywhere in the world with so much coverage in social media, unless you live in an oppressive country where you don't have access to the outside world and social media and the news, that you wouldn't know that it wouldn't be appropriate to put an African, a black person, a dark person in any type of clothing that likens them to a monkey. So I can't believe that any company, especially one that like H&M that does so much business in the United States, would be that tone deaf, or are they just giving us a blatant middle finger? I don't know what to think about that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And I'm also going to share a funny story. I'm so excited that Sterling K. Brown picked up the Golden Globe Award for his performance in This Is Us. I have a real funny Sterling K. Brown story to share, so I'll talk about that. Oprah's speech, like I said, my favorite part of her speech, and anything else. If anybody else wants to call in and talk to me, you are more than welcome to do so. You can dial 646-668-2644. I was planning on adding a little bit of an interview clip with Olympic gymnast Lori Hernandez, but I am fresh off of a press conference. So I haven't had a chance to get to that. Oh, we're also going to talk about The Chi. The Chi, it kicked off this past Sunday officially on Showtime, the new dramatic series, original series that is brought to Showtime by Emmy Award winner Lena Waithe. So that story was amazing. I'm going to talk about that. And so that's what we have on deck for the show. Before we get all the way into it, let me tell you that today's show, like always, is brought to you by Undeterred.com, persevering despite setbacks. Make sure you visit Undeterred.bigcartel.com and check out their selection of statement-making tees. Are you undeterred? Pick up one today and check it out. They have some really, really cool stuff. So make sure you visit the good folks at Undeterred.com. So let's get right into it. So let's start with the Golden Globes. The Golden Globes, of course, this past Sunday night in Los Angeles. Before we talk about the Golden Globes, I'll tell you what I was doing Golden Globes weekend before this rain started really coming down. Please blame my health and not my heart if you hear any coughing going on during the show, because I have a bit of a cold like everybody else in the United States, it seems like right now. I'm fighting it off. I had it. It went away. It's trying to come back. I'm not going down without a fight. I'm not trying to be sick anymore. It gets on my nerves. So please pardon me if I have to at brief intervals during the show. So going on this weekend was the Golden Globe Awards, and I was out in Hollywood. Had to do a red carpet, technically a gold carpet, for Black Sports Online. And the title of the event was Gold Meets Golden. And what it was an event where you brought in Olympic athletes before they head off to the next Olympics, along with Golden Globe nominees and attendees, to bring them together so they could mingle and meet each other and shake hands and kiss babies and do the whole thing. So I was out on this carpet in Hollywood on Saturday morning, and I had such a good time talking to the folks that I did get to talk to, and it was incredible to see some people, some Olympians that I haven't seen in a long time. Some of you listening to this show might be quite a bit younger than me, so you might not remember some of these athletes, but some of them you will remember. I saw Nadia Comaneci out there, who is, of course, the legendary gymnast from the 80s. I saw Greg Louganis, the diver, talked to him briefly. But my favorite person to talk to out of everybody had to be, well, there were two. There was Jackie Joyner-Kersee, who you know for the world of track and field, and little Lori Hernandez, who was part of the gold medal Olympic gymnastics team in the last Summer Olympics. And she is the sweetest, nicest, cutest girl in the world. She was on Dancing with the Stars, but she just had the most amazing, bright, bubbly, and not fake bubbly, but just a sweet, unjaded person. And it was so refreshing to talk to her. So I asked her, she was so genuinely excited to go to this event because, like all of us, she watches TV too. She's fans of all these people. When she does have the time to watch TV, she is an Olympic elite athlete. So she was really, really excited when Chrissy Metz from This Is Us walked into the party, and she got to talk to her and shake her hand. And it was so cool, like, to see from someone else's eyes, them seeing one of their favorite TV stars. When you do media, after a while, kind of like the star thing wears out, and you kind of become a little jaded because you talk to people all the time, and so you can't get starstruck if you want to do a good interview. But to see her get that excited to see the young lady from This Is Us was real, real cool. But speaking of This Is Us, and switching now to the Golden Globes, I'm going to jump around with how I talk about the Golden Globes. I'll talk about the winners and Oprah. I'm going to talk about aspects of the show that were funny and interesting to me. So skipping now off of my gold carpet on Saturday and into the actual ceremony on Sunday, the Golden Globes. Let's kick it off with the monologue. Now, this year, of course, the Golden Globes were making a very poignant statement given the whole climate in Hollywood right now, with all the allegations and substantiated reports of sexual abuse, sexual misconduct, workplace discrimination, sexual harassment, and all the things that are going on, that have been going on in Hollywood for quite some time. And now the women are making their voices heard and being brave and coming forward, and the men too. Shout out to Terry Crews, letting people know that this has been going on. It's kind of like that dirty little secret that everybody knows is going on, but nobody really could say anything about it. But so that was a hot topic, and as a result, actors and actresses and everyone joined forces and wore black for the award show. And what was a downer for me for the award show was the host, Seth Meyers. So Seth Meyers, I give him a C on the opening monologue. If you haven't seen his opening monologue, I'm sure it's on YouTube in 10,000 places. He just fell flat for me. I give his monologue a C. I've seen better hosts of the Golden Globes in the past, and I'm all for a little political, topical humor. I'm definitely not a prude. I think in terms of comedy, there isn't too many things that are, that should be censored or whatever. But anyway, so Seth Meyers has the difficult task of hosting an award show when A, people are making a statement, and B, following just such a number of substantiated sexual abuse allegations. And I get what he was trying to do, and he was trying to be poignant with his jokes and trying to, deliver under different circumstances. But I don't know if he just had the layered or the breadth or the I don't want to say intelligence, because I'm not saying he's dumb, because he's not. But he just didn't have the maybe the comedic IQ to really punch the jokes home, because there were some jokes he delivered that were just really whack. There were some that fell flat, and the room just kind of looked around each other like, what the hell? And there were just some that were just too soon. Like, there were some jokes that were too soon, and then there were jokes where it was almost like you were trying to outsmart the room. It kind of reminds me of like when you go to a party, like a day party, and Questlove is DJ, and Questlove has to put on like these records that are like super duper obscure, that if you don't know this and you ain't hip hop, you don't know your music. It just seemed like a lot of little inside jokes like that were just a little bit over the head of the room and for the people watching at home. And because of that, it fell flat. It was kind of whack. I'm cool with seeing Seth Meyers host the Golden Globes again, but hey, I'm sure a lot of people liked him. I don't know these people who like the Golden Globes monologue, but then again, I was watching the Golden Globes while on Twitter, and if you use Twitter, that an award show night is an amazing, amazing thing. But nobody seemed too jazzed about Seth Meyers' monologue. I know I wasn't, but enough about him. Let's talk about Sterling K. Brown. This year, Sterling K. Brown, other than Oprah, he saved it for me in terms of award winners. And it's no shade to the other winners, but I like to see us win. And by us, I mean black people. Shout out to Issa Rae. I'm rooting for everybody black. I am. But that doesn't mean I don't like the work of a lot of the other nominees and winners like Allison Janney. I love Allison Janney. She won for the movie I, Tonya. I loved her on Masters of Sex. She is an incredible, incredible actress. And I'm not mad that she won. And as a matter of fact, the movie that she won for is super dope to me because I was a competitive ice skater as a child. That's a story for another day because I've got some pretty funny stories with that too, because it just seems weird that a black girl from Inglewood would be a competitive ice skater. But that's neither here nor there right now. So back to Sterling K. Brown, who picks up the win for his portrayal on This Is Us. And he gave the most wonderful speech about a part that was being lucky to be able to be cast in roles that were colorblind, but now to have a role that was written specifically for a black man. Before you say, well, he was in The People versus OJ, played Christopher Darden. The role wasn't written for him. Christopher Darden is a black man that's still alive, so a black man had to play Christopher Darden. But on This Is Us, those characters didn't necessarily have to be black, but by writing them as black characters, you get all these other nuance and you get to educate your audience to a whole bunch of things that you may not know about black culture if you don't have a whole bunch of black friends. So I feel what Sterling K. Brown was saying about that. But enough about his win and his speech. Let me tell you a funny story about Sterling K. Brown and how genuinely nice he is. When you see him on TV and in interviews and stuff, and everybody who's an actor and actress, they know how to play nice when they're in front of the cameras. But I'm going to tell you exactly how nice Sterling K. Brown is. So before This Is Us premiered a couple years ago, I got invited to a press party, like a premiere party, where we could preview the show before it hit NBC, and all the cast was there to talk about the show and just kind of network and meet with the press. So we'll write about the show, obviously, right? But the show was so good, you really didn't have to twist anybody's arm. I haven't even met a person yet who doesn't like This Is Us. And if they don't like This Is Us, I kind of don't trust them because something is wrong. So anyway, Sterling K. Brown, we're in the food line, and the food was amazing. And I'm looking around the tongs to put some meat on my plate. And I'm looking around, and I see this good-looking brother standing behind me, not realizing quite yet, because I wasn't as familiar with Sterling K. Brown at that moment. And he's like, I got you, sister. What you want? You want some of these ribs? Let me hook you up. Boom, put the rib on my plate. Got to the next thing. You want some of this too? Boom, put the next food on my plate. Got down to the end, handed me some silverware. He's like, I got you, sis. I got you. I'm like, thank you, brother. I'm so glad I stopped just short of saying, so what outlet are you with? Because that would have been really embarrassing, and I didn't want to offend him. But I'ma always love Sterling K. Brown, and I have had a chance to interview him for Black Sports Online. So if you ever go on BSO, just search for Sterling K. Brown, and you can find an interview that I did with him. But he is the sweetest, nicest person, and he's always going to be dear to me, and I'm always going to root for him because he made my plate at a media dinner. I mean, how many people can say that a Golden Globe and an Emmy Award winner made their plate for them and they weren't related? That's pretty awesome. So shout out to Sterling K. Brown. I appreciate him for making my plate. Next up with the Golden Globes that I want to talk about was Oprah's speech, winning the Cecil B. DeMille Award for all that she has contributed to the film industry and will continue to contribute. I can't wait to see A Wrinkle in Time. But her speech that has everybody standing up in the streets wanting her to run for president in the next presidential election in 2020. I remember years ago, before Hillary was even a thought per se to run for president, and how people used to say, Oprah and Hillary should run for president, president and vice president in the future. And it's so funny that we come full circle and we've got Hillary not really in the mix, but we've got Oprah still in the mix. Her speech was so exciting and so inspiring, and I just want to read my favorite part of the speech that she delivered. To tyrants and victims and secrets and lies, I want to say that I value the press more than ever before as we try to navigate these complicated times, which brings me to this. What I know for sure is that speaking your truth is the most powerful tool we all have. And I'm especially proud and inspired by all the women who have felt strong and empowered enough to speak up and share their personal stories. Each of us in this room are celebrated because of the stories that we tell, and this year we became the story. That was so moving to me, not only as a woman, not only as a woman of color, but as a member of the press. There's so many opportunities or forces that want to silence the voices of the press. Obviously, there's press with the agenda, but there's so many news outlets that are committed and devoted to telling the truth and getting the information to the people. And that's part of the problem that we have now in our society. We have so many people who just want to just walk as sheep through their day-to-day life and not seeking any information. And I feel like the press has an obligation as torch holders to share the information with people and make sure that the truth is getting out there. There's a lot of unbiased media. Not everybody who reports the news is fake news. And there's just really now more than ever for the press to have the freedom of their voices, because when you don't allow the press to freely express themselves and get the information to the people, then we essentially are living in a dictatorship. And nobody wants that. So shout out to Oprah. Congratulations to her for winning the Cecil B. DeMille Award. Now, what has been tripping me out since the announcement of her award is seeing online the people that are tweeting the pictures of her and Harvey Weinstein. That is a crazy, crazy thing going on out there. And there are people saying, like, everybody knows that this was going on. Why didn't she know? But you have to remember, Oprah, in addition to being an actress, was also a talk show host and a magazine owner, and all of the things that she was doing. Maybe she didn't have enough contact with Harvey to know that. Maybe no one shared their stories with her. We can't automatically assume just because she took a picture with the man that she really knew what was cracking like that. She knew that this was Harvey Weinstein, who is a force in Hollywood. So I'm not ready to put Oprah out just because she took a picture with Harvey Weinstein. I'm sure I've taken a picture with some questionable people who've done some questionable things in their life. That doesn't mean at the time that I knew they were doing it. Hell, I probably got some people in my family that I've taken pictures with who are doing some shady shit and I didn't know about it. So don't y'all throw Oprah out under the bus yet. That's Oprah. Y'all got to be cool on that. Let's get into this H&M debacle. My God, H&M just stay screwing up. I remember H&M. I can't even remember what the issue was for H&M, but I know that they had to apologize for something, and I can't remember exactly what it was they had to apologize for, but that's neither here nor there, because here they are again apologizing again for doing something retarded. I can't imagine, like I said at the top of the show, that in 2018, anywhere in the world, unless you're living somewhere where you don't have access to the internet or can see what's happening in the rest of the world, especially people in the demographic that H&M markets their clothing to, that aren't aware that these things were going on. We saw worldwide protests. We saw worldwide women's marches. We saw worldwide Black Lives Matter marches. We saw a lot of things to indicate that somebody working for H&M knew that this wasn't right. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, just to catch you up to date, if you're tuning into the show and you've been under a rock and you don't know what happened with H&M recently, H&M released a story of a beautiful, beautiful little black boy who was photographed wearing a green sweatshirt that had the green sweatshirt said, let me get the exact language. You already know where I'm going with it because you probably saw the pictures yourself. And it was the coolest monkey in the jungle, I believe is what the shirt said. And that's enough for somebody to slap you. I wish somebody would try to put my child in a sweatshirt that said coolest monkey in the jungle. But at the same time, here is an issue I have with this whole thing of how it played out. There's a whole bunch of other factors going on. Well, number one, we've got this boy in this sweatshirt who's clearly maybe 10 years old, maybe 9. He's quite young, beautiful young man who probably was on set with his parents. The boy is chocolate. So unless he was adopted, he got 2 black parents. And I can't imagine that parent A or parent B saw this and was like, yeah, son, that looks good. Go ahead and model the coolest monkey in the jungle shirt. Okay, so that's problem one that I have with this. Problem number 2, the layers of people that this has to go through before you see it in a print ad. So let's see. You have the young man. You have his parents. You have the stylist for the photo shoot. You have the photographer for the photo shoot. You have the creative team of the shoot who select the images for the lookbook. You have the person who has the final say over the lookbook. And then you have probably somebody within the executive staff of H&M who says, yes, we're ready to go. Send it to print. Let's get it cracking. Nobody in all those layers of people said, you know what? We probably shouldn't put this little beautiful black boy in anything that says monkey. So that's saying all those factors. And then, before we got the official apology from H&M, on H&M's Instagram account, whoever's running the Instagram account responded to a phantom user that they were taking it down. It wasn't right. We sorry, my bad, mea culpa. I don't even think they said all that. It was just a really kind of whack apology. But my thing is this. Out of all the people, the celebrities, the social media users, the news sources that said, hey, it's whack to put this black boy in this sweatshirt about a monkey, they chose to respond on Instagram to a phantom account. And by phantom account, if you use Instagram, you know, those are those accounts where it's like, the name will be something like Anastasia_71417. And then when you click their username, they have like 2 followers. Who the hell is Anastasia_21714? Or whatever the name was, that H&M said, you know what? Out of all the people who are outraged, I'm going to respond to Anastasia_21714. What's up with this? What's up with this? It's more to it than this. I almost feel like the person that had to green light this came to work that day and was about to be fired on a day off and saw the shirt and knew it was wrong and was like, you know what? F this. I'm getting fired anyway. Cool. Boom. I don't like you anyway. Send. Next thing you know, we have this beautiful black boy all over social media with this monkey shirt on. H&M, y'all need me to come work for you? I could have clearly told you that wasn't right. It's almost like if you took a little beautiful white child and put a shirt on him that said, coolest cracker in the box. Come on, bruh. You can't put the children in that stuff. But that's enough about H&M. H&M, please do better. And finally, as we come to the 30-minute mark, I'm going to just do a brief synopsis about The Chi. So The Chi premiered on Sunday night on Showtime. If you have the Showtime app or you have the Showtime anytime on your computer or whatever, you could have watched the pilot episode before it took air. And let me just tell you, that show was pretty damn good. Now, before you go into it with the mindset that you're going to see The Wire, just because a show is set in an urban setting doesn't mean that it's going to be The Wire. It's not The Wire. It's The Chi. The biggest difference between The Chi and The Wire, in my humble opinion, The Wire was more shaped itself around institutions like the ports, the drugs, the cops, the schools, the media. Whereas The Chi is a very, very character-driven show that shows the way several groups of family and their lives are intertwined by some tragic occurrences. What I really liked about this, I'm not a Chicago native, I'm very much an LA native, so I'm hoping to see how the city itself plays into it like as a character, almost like Baltimore was a character for The Wire. Why can't people from Baltimore say yous and oohs and doos, and why can't they say that? Can somebody from Baltimore tell me? But anyway, The Chi focuses on how these people's lives are intertwined and redemptive stories and stories of joy and hate. And it's not a story where the whole story is about guns, gun violence, murders. That is just one aspect of these people's lives. And there's so many aspects, even after the first episode. I've actually seen 2 episodes, but there's so many factors that are related that you could relate to, whether you're from the inner city, it's the burbs, you're black, you're non-black. There's something that could be valued and gained by watching this show. It's excellent. I'm doing a separate podcast called The Chi After Show, and that's on my network, Bad Culture TV Network. So if you want to tune into that, you can tune into me live at 8 p.m. on Sunday nights and listen to it, or you can head over to Bad Culture TV on YouTube, and you can watch the archive. Episode 1 of The Chi After Show is already up. So if you want to check it out and listen to it, let me know your thoughts. I like a little feedback from people. I don't always like talking to myself, although I think I'm pretty dope. It gets a little boring just talking to yourself. So let me know what you think about The Chi so we can talk about it, okay? Wow, this 30 minutes went by so much faster this week compared to the first week that I did the show. I probably had a little bit more to talk about, but hey, that's what makes the world go round. So as we come up to the top, in preparation for next week, tomorrow I'm going to go see a screening of 50 Cent's new movie, Den of Thieves. So I'll be talking about that next week. So many crazy things happen to me at any given time. I never know when my next funny story is going to come about. So you just got to keep tuning in and keep rocking with your girl and listening for it. I want to thank everybody who tuned into the first episode. Wow, a lot more of you listen to me than I realized. So thank you so much. That's super duper dope. Make sure you subscribe to Bad Culture TV. Make sure you on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the She Report on Blog Talk. Thank you to our sponsor, Undeterred. Make sure you visit undeterred.bigcartel.com. Please, please, please check them out. They have some dope shirts. They have one shirt. If you look at my Instagram, Jeandra LaBeouf, just like my Twitter, you'll see some of their selections. They have a shirt. My favorite shirt is one that says Nat Turner Gun Club, and it's in black and red and green, but it's super dope. So make sure you visit them. Thank you again for listening. Thank you again to the She Report for hosting me. I'm looking forward to talking to you again next week. Enjoy the rest of your week. If you're in LA, be safe out there because the roads are crazy. Have a good evening.